Welcome to Wisdom Women, the podcast where we meet empowered women from all circles and seasons of life. We talk about the moments that shaped them, the women who lifted them up, and what empowerment really means and what it doesn't. From burlesque dancers turned breathwork guides to moms running businesses between school drop-offs, the wisdom here is raw, real, and totally contagious. And if you love these conversations, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And now let's dive in. Welcome my guest today. We have Marilyn Burgos with us. Hey, Marilyn. It's really nice to see you on here today. Marilyn, I have just met Marilyn basically for the first time. I had a friend, one of our former guests on here, Maria from season 3, I think, just kept saying, I had to meet you. We had to hear what you're up to, what you're offering into this world. So why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself and things that you're up to?
Thank you. So, my name is Marilyn Burgos. I am an integrative health and movement coach. The business that I own is called Evolve Wealth Center. I'm also a marketer in my career. So I love kind of like exploring different ways to tackle on, I don't know, maybe I should say revenue streams or maybe impact. I don't know how everyone call it. And aside from that, mom, partner to a great guy, my kid's amazing, and of course many fur babies. And as of right now, the only big thing I'm preparing for is my first retreat at the Himalayan Institute. So I'm excited about that. It's a yoga retreat. It's called Words to Breathe by Wisdom of the Belly. And the focus is just helping folks identify, ways for them to release the ego in practical ways. It's not just, okay, me having you meditate. No, we're really doing some work.
Yeah.
So that you can have actionable takeaways when you bring them home and continue working on yourself. The whole goal is to work on yourself.
Yeah. And when is this retreat again? When is that
Oh,
happening?
that one is starting October 24th through the 26th at the Himalayan Institute.
Oh, where is the Himalayan Institute? Is that in New York or
Pennsylvania?
in Pennsylvania? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's really cool. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. Their ashram is very beautiful. And we have a lovely room called the Sunrise Room. So I'm excited because that's where the sun rises. So we took that space and yeah, I'm excited about it.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I always love sharing when people are doing retreats because we need them so much. And
We
I think
do.
that it's so accessible. Like you don't have to go to Bali. You don't have to go, like we really just to take that time for ourselves to get
Yeah.
away, get deeper into the work, more than just one yoga session, like take it. And I come out of yogas, I'm like, I need like 2 more hours of this, like for discussion or something around that mindfulness work. And I think
But this is
that's
what we're
really cool.
doing. This is a form of yoga.
Yeah.
What you're
Yeah.
doing, you're helping women share what makes them more impactful. This is yoga.
Oh, that's so true, right? We're yoking together and we're doing this all in this space here. That's so true. I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, Marilyn. So that's really interesting too. So what would you say like in your yoga studio where you have classes and things like that? Like what kinds of yogas are you offering? And is there any other kind of styles or things that people could connect with? I know every yoga studio just has its own flavor a little bit. So I'd love to hear about that.
So I'm going to give a little context. So Evolve Well Center is actually a wellness center.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yoga is a component of some of the offerings. And what I've decided, this is actually, it's so funny how we're having this meeting right now. So my business has been open at our location in Verona for about a year. And it gave me some intel that I had to reassess and reflect. And this is a great opportunity to do that. The time of October, things are, so when you take the seasons into consideration, fall is a great opportunity to understand what you no longer need and where you can reflect on things that you can improve upon or do something different. So, I realized that my business really was of more service if I did more group events, if I'm working with my clients one-on-one, semi-private.
Yeah.
But the yoga aspect of it, I wanted it to be more impactful. So years ago, I was teaching donation-based yoga and I kind of pulled away from that. And that really made my heart like sing, because donation-based yoga is just a great way for people to just come into yoga with no attachments, and more importantly, not feeling like they have to get, pay an arm and a leg and their first child to go to class,
Yeah.
right?
Right, right.
So my background is in hatha yoga, and
Mhm.
so I do teach variations, but my key focus is always going into the philosophies of yoga and what
Mm,
they take off the mat. So it's not necessarily, okay, we're going to go into all these asanas and things like that. It's more about helping people understand culturally what was brought to us, philosophically what was brought to us. How can we take this practice and make it our own? So that's
mhm,
one aspect of Evolve Well. Another
mm,
part of it of Evolve Well is that I just love sharing impactful knowledge. So I'm now decided, because again, this was the reflection time, right?
yeah, October.
So now I'm working on collective assets. And what that means is collections of information that I can share, because there's unfortunately a lot of misinformation about health and wellness and things like that. And I feel like in order for me to make an impact in the world is just help guide the folks that really want to learn a lot, but they're curious. And I'd rather work with the curious people rather than people that say, okay, I saw this influencer online and this is what she said, and what she says is gold. No, no, please. It's about
Right.
curiosity. It's about learning, understanding perspectives, and giving yourself this opportunity to just embrace new knowledge.
Mhm, mhm.
So part of that process is, because I've been an avid learner for so many years. It's like there's no point. I can't help the community if I keep it all in my brain. So part of that is just sharing.
Right. Right, being of service, right? One of the kind
Yes.
of philosophies of yoga for sure, right? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't keep it unless I give it away. This is the important parts. That's so amazing. Well, thank you for clarifying that and giving more information on Evolve and all of the work that you're doing there. And especially, and you had mentioned something, and I just like it popped out at me. We are talking about like helping to release the ego
Yeah.
and more of that. Tell me a little more about that and how that's coming into the retreat that you're doing.
So, I mean, this can probably go back into a full conversation that we'll
Yeah.
have for hours. When
Right,
people
right.
talk about egos, right, we think of many different things. So some people can think about being stubborn. Some people can be thinking about, just material, it could just transcend into so many things. What I talk about when I release the ego, I first start talking about what your conditioning was
Mm.
before you were birthed into this world.
Mhm.
What energies did you take on from your mom, right? That you hold on to dearly that you didn't even know subconsciously, right?
Yeah.
So now you're a kid and you're copying from your family, you copy habits, behaviors from your family and friends, thinking perspectives,
Mhm.
and that imprints upon you. So the idea of releasing the ego, start releasing things that are not really you. It's
Mm.
just an imprint of things that you collected because you were a baby, you were a kid, you were a young adult, and you're still forming yourself in the world, so you
Mhm.
don't know, right? So you're just going to kind of take everything in your toolkit and just kind of keep it in your backpack, right? But
Yeah.
as an adult, we don't want to do that. We don't want to release our backpack because it's scary doing
Right.
things that we've never done for the first time. It's nice to stay in our comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's releasing the ego. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You have to
Mhm.
be open to learning more. It
Yeah.
is okay to express and feel pain. It is okay. And so these are things that we work through, giving yourself compassion, give yourself permission to be okay with not being in control of things. Give
Mm.
yourself
That's
permission,
big, right.
okay, to just be you. Maybe you want to be silly because you feel like it and no one,
Yeah.
wants to tolerate you, but you feel good. This is where you are. Give yourself permission to be you.
Mm.
And so it's so difficult because we're in a society that's pretty tough on women
Mhm. Mhm.
for centuries.
Yes. Yes.
And it's not
True.
just here, it's
Sure.
around the world, and it's in some places it's worse places than others. But we have an opportunity as a community to help one another, you
Mhm.
know? And not to, how should I say? Not to be jealous of other people. So what if some other person looks prettier or, whatever? Those are superficial things. Those things kind of like go on the wayside. But what can that person bring to the table that can support you as your sister, right? So
Yeah.
there's always ways for us to support each other in growth, whether it's in business, whether it's in career, whether it's in community. Maybe somebody needs clothes and you're like, oh, you know
Mhm.
what? I didn't really want this shirt anymore. Maybe they want it. Like, what would
Yeah.
stop you from giving that to them? So it's just like being free to be, excuse me, being free to be a loving human being and not having an attachment to that. And that's a definition that I have kind of embraced in my life over the years. So that's some things that
Mhm.
I want to impact on in the retreat.
Oh, I love, and I totally, I think that's what it popped out at me, 'cause there's always opportunities to just understand more. Like, my last guest does women's circles, so I'm like, "Well, tell us, what is a women's circle?" Like, what does that
Uh-huh.
mean? And I think sometimes we hear these things flow through TikTok and all of our feeds, and
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
ego, and it's like, "No, let's talk about what is that?" So thank you for sharing that, because I think
Uh-huh.
that that's useful for people to have some verbiage and understand, we can
Uh-huh.
understand that it's nothing that's like a negative thing, it's just there, right? Like, it's just this part of us that has formed, and
Uh-huh.
maybe it's not working anymore. So I think you're gonna have a great retreat, because that's a beautiful focus,
Thank you. And I do want
going
to
there.
add something. I do want to add
Yeah.
something because so with the ego, there are the shadows, right? How they
Yeah.
call it. So maybe, just maybe, let's just say an example, you just feel like today you're just having a really rough day
Mhm.
and someone just, I don't know, didn't, can they cut you off at work? I don't know. They just said something, maybe you were driving and they cut you off or whatever. Ego can also be how you react with your emotions.
Yes.
So, checking into your ego and saying, okay, maybe this person wasn't having a good day. So I'm not going to continue with the road rage. Or maybe you were at work, right? Another example.
Mhm.
And you
Mhm.
feel you really needed to get a promotion and it didn't, go well and things like that. Women don't speak up often. So
Mhm.
this is where you can check into your ego and say, okay, you know what? I need a little oomph today. I need to speak to somebody and step it up a little bit. So there's variances to that.
Yeah.
So I just
Mhm.
wanted to add that little point because
Love
oftentimes,
it.
yeah, I just think like you brought something up very important. It's like it's not flowy. It's not, no, it has really great value. But at the
Mhm.
same time, we have to understand where it was formed, how it was formed, and where is it that we're contributing to it versus,
Mhm.
okay, I'm acting like my mom or I'm acting like my dad, right? Because we think about those things. So
Mhm. Oh,
that's all.
that's great. I love it. Thank you. That's perfect. No, that's good. That's good. That's like a, I feel like we're getting a little taster of that beautiful weekend that you have planned up ahead. I appreciate that. It's gonna be
Oh, no
exciting.
problem.
So, the guests that I have on, then we move into these little questions. And my first set of questions that I will ask you today, Marilyn, is all around women's empowerment. I love hearing feedback from so many different guests that I've had around their role models of empowerment. So I'll ask you that first. I won't jump into all of them. So who are your role models of empowered women? Like, if you were to say that this was the woman that really showed me that way, who is that?
I think the one woman that has driven me crazy all my life, but has known me since I was born is my mom.
Mom. Yep, yep.
Yeah. And I don't say it lightly because this is a woman who came from Puerto Rico, didn't speak a lick of English. She was 19.
Mhm.
She didn't have an opportunity to go to school like she wanted to. Then, I think like 2 years later or something like that, I came along. Woo-hoo!
Mhm.
So one thing I appreciate with my mom was she learned to pivot very quickly. She navigated learning a new language in a new country. She navigated getting work, taking care of her children. When marriage went south and my parents separated, again, she became very creative and innovative, raising three girls on her own.
Mm-hmm.
When my mom was diagnosed with glaucoma, she was trying to be proactive with her health, and unfortunately, the healthcare system wasn't the best, and she ended up losing her sight.
Mm.
That didn't stop her.
Wow.
So she leveraged whatever she had available so that she can not only stay on top of technology, but she took a flip phone and put a Siri on it. I was like, how do you even, you know what? I'm not even going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you.
What? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Remember, no one's helping her to put this together. She does this on her own. Like she figures it out. Sometimes she's calling me. I'm like, hello. She's like, I called you by mistake. I gotta go. I'm working on Siri. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
so it's very, to me, she's been very instrumental because I feel like whenever things get really rough, you know, I say to myself, you know what? My mom never took drugs.
Mm-hmm.
She was never on any medication or antidepressants or none of that. My mom was just focused. She was like, okay, this is not working the way I want it to work. What am I going to do to navigate
Mm-hmm.
through this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she's been my empowered woman.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I think that's really sweet. And I think that there's the word I was hearing you say is like how she could just sort of like as life is lifey and gets and challenges
Hmm.
come at us that we can pivot. Like, is that would you
Yes.
find that's like kind of one of the that was my next question around like, would you find this to be the traits of an empowered woman? Would that be one of them that you feel
I definitely
embodies?
would say yes. But
Mhm.
that goes with, I think in order for someone to pivot, they have to release control.
Mm, yeah.
You
Mhm.
can't control outcomes,
Right.
but you can navigate where you go and how, do you want to be proactive or you want to be reactive? Reactive
Mhm.
is really not the best way to go. And women are known to be very quote unquote emotional creatures.
Mhm.
Listen, nature gave us hormones, so we have
Right.
to work through that, right?
Mhm.
But as empowered women, our focus really should be about releasing control, be more strategic and more focused, disciplined. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's not going to be an easy journey.
Right.
Recognize that you have to do the work.
Yeah.
There is no knight in shining armor, although I wish, but no.
Sounds nice, but
Sounds nice,
maybe probably
but
wouldn't
you
work
are your
out.
knight. You are your knight, right? So it's like
Right.
you have to do the work. You have to,
Yeah.
and be okay. Be okay with the results,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
I resonate with that. I do. I
Mhm.
especially around, and like you're sharing about the emotions thing, and I almost feel like the more time I'm having like in this work and like doing this
Mhm.
work, I feel like they were meant to be a superpower in some ways, and it's only like our society that makes emotions and those kind of
Mhm.
perhaps, based in trauma or whatever reactivity, it was something that actually was us sort of like maybe luteal phasey, like, "This is not okay." Like, "What's happening
Yeah.
is, like, in my gut, I'm feeling this," and now we
Yes.
hold it like, "Oh, I gotta I don't wanna
Mhm. Girl,
react."
you gotta let it out. Mhm.
Right?
Ugly
Or,
cry
like,
if you
maybe
need
in the
to.
right channel, in the right environment,
Yes.
but there's wisdom in there
Yes.
sometimes, as
Yes.
long as it's
Nature
not suffering.
but nature designed us in certain ways. And so as our
Yeah,
human species keeps evolving, because, you know, um, our countries are changing, our technology is changing, our
yeah,
cultures are changing. We're cross culturally, sharing information with one another.
right.
So what wasn't okay before is okay now. But when you look at the way ancestors and, indigenous peoples, it was okay. It never wasn't okay. Like in my culture,
Right,
in the Spanish culture, it is okay for a man to cry. Like it's normal. We see men cry all the time. But if you
right,
look at other cultures, they look down. Why? Why would you look down?
right.
So
There's nothing
Polynesian
like in
culture, I
them.
believe, is the same. Also, they're very in touch with their emotions. There's a lot of cultures around the world that are very in tune with their feelings, both masculine and feminine. And so
Yes.
I think that to what you were just saying, Let it be okay. If you want to cry, cry. Do the ugly
Yeah.
cry. But you said, yeah, to a point. Like, don't just sit there and do like an ugly cry when you're in a conference room. Like, yeah,
Oh,
no, don't do that.
yeah, and be held. I feel like meaning, like, I think
Oh,
this is
yeah.
something that we don't know, right? I feel like, especially if you're talking about, like, indigenous tribes, and I always bring this up on here because I get so, like, when I was expat and moving around with my family around a lot, the whole thing was just like, "I just need some people. I need my village," like,
Yes.
I need women
Yes.
around me as I had younger children at
Mm-hmm.
the time, and I think that is where having those emotions, that's that space for processing and,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think it's happening. There's definitely a shift, culture and retreats and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, I think are because we're craving that in some
Mm-hmm.
ways, really
But
needing
we
those.
need more on the everyday. Retreats
Yeah,
aren't enough because it could be, and I'm not going to knock everybody who does a retreat, but realistically, are we doing
yeah,
it because we want to make some extra cash flow?
mhm,
Are you following up with your people after they leave? These are my clients. Most of these
yeah,
people that are attending are my clients and friends that were like, cool, we're going to go. But guess what? I
right,
will check in. You have actionable steps. I want to make sure you're
right.
okay. Right. But there are great retreats out there. And then there are ones that
It's a
it's
vacation,
just,
right.
it's a vacation. So what are you
Right.
looking for as this human being that is
Mm.
feeling that they need that connection? Where do
Yeah,
you feel you're going to get the most impact? So
mhm,
these are things that I like to talk through with my current clients in the health coaching space because sometimes there's impulsivity involved
mhm,
because the connection may not be coming from the place they think it's coming from.
mhm,
We really have to kind of like weed out like what exactly is this driving force.
mhm.
So, do you really need help with your kids or do you really want to go out with your friends? Like what's the real
Mm,
reason behind,
right.
right? And you know what?
Support.
There's no right or wrong answer. Everybody has
Mhm.
their own and the key is not to judge, but the point is that we don't have family dynamics like we used to. I grew up with a
Right.
big family and then we all got separated and somehow we kind of stayed small.
Mhm,
And it's
mhm.
hard. It's hard. And some circling back to what you just said before, when you were traveling and you needed a village, it's so nice to have aunties come over and take care of your
Right.
kids and they play with them. And then you're like, oh, thank God, I could just breathe for 5 minutes.
Who am I? What day is it?
What
Where
day
am
is
I?
it? And then you're like, oh, I miss my kids. It's only been 2 hours. That's fine.
But that's right. I think that just like you said about retreats, it's like more consistency of that than just, and I think that's why sometimes when I'll speak for myself, when you have big family gatherings, it's almost too much. It's like I just, like I'm not,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm not used to it if we don't have our
Mm,
village all the time. But when there's
hmm.
big gatherings, okay, I just need like little sprinklings of that throughout the week and
Yes.
just two people come over and let's have dinner and then like
Yes. Yes.
finding that balance,
Hmm.
I guess, and each person's very different, of course, but
Yeah.
learning ourselves of what support
Absolutely. I love
needing.
it. Yes, that's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
so nice. Okay. So I know we talked about pivoting as one of the traits of an empowered woman. Did you have any others that you'd love to share here around if you saw a
Let me
woman on
see.
the street and that kind of came to you, like what are the traits or behaviors that empowered women demonstrate?
So I'm going to cheat because I did write notes.
No, good, please. I make notes.
So aside from doing the work and being disciplined, you got to be humble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like when a woman reaches a certain status, sometimes it can get to their head.
Right.
And we don't want our stilettos kicked from underneath us.
Mm,
So it is so important for us to be gentle and kind to ourselves, gentle and kind to our sisters that are rising up so that we can do this together as a collective.
mhm,
I would also say, feel free to be creative.
mhm,
So I get all the time, well, I'm not a creative person. Everybody is creative. It's a brain design that we have. It's called
mm,
survival.
mhm. Right, right.
So if you don't have those neurons, find them. So
Mhm,
maybe try something different. Try a class, maybe sewing. Maybe you never tried anything with your hands before.
mhm,
Or just allow yourself, use that word, allow. Allow yourself to be adaptive and then eventually remove the word allow and say, I'm adaptive, right? So it's just like
Mhm.
reconditioning the brain. So your mindset shifts to a more positive way of thinking.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that's where empowered women really take the cake. There is a flow of positivity
Mhm.
and they don't step on others.
Mhm.
They are humble despite their big
Love
titles and their
humble.
big bank accounts. And the
Mhm.
opposite, they may not have a big title or a bank account, and they have the biggest hearts in the universe, and they're the
Yeah.
kindest souls, right? So it's
Mhm.
just being humble.
Well, I think there's something else in that layer of humbleness too, of right? Like I've come to a success point, but I don't know it all. Like, and there's more to learn,
Yes,
right? Like
yes,
I
yes.
am a teachable person that this is just a moment in time.
Mm-hmm. That's
Who
right.
knows? And that's not like I'm not scared, but like there's more to more layers and less. Or like what Joseph Campbell does, the hero's journey, which I love, where he talks about, and the next one comes, the next
Mm-hmm.
call to action begins.
Absolutely.
Don't get stagnant because that success is just one layer, and then I
Yes. Yes.
think that's kind of
Absolutely.
exciting,
Well said.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love humble. Thank you for that. That's so good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we are going to move on to our new part of season 4 here with Wisdom Women, where we do these rapid fire questions, which is just another way to get to know our guests and hear some more about you. So the first question is power word. What's the one word that instantly makes you feel strong and unstoppable?
It's so funny. When you just talked about, just loving to learn, it's all knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Power
Knowledge.
word for you,
You
knowledge.
have to. You gotta stay curious. You have to
Oh,
stay curious.
I like that one.
Mhm.
That's a good one. I resonate with that one. Okay. Number 2. Magic fuel. What's your go-to food or drink that makes and powers your energy?
Water.
Oh, yeah, so simple.
Yes, without it, we die.
That's okay. That's the opposite of power. It is death. It is your water. That's
So,
great.
if you say fuel, yes, we need water. I love water because it's the bringer of life. We were in water.
My gosh. This is so beautiful. I love
We're
this. You give me
90%
goosebumps.
water, so why not water?
Yeah, good answer. Okay. And now on the opposite of the spectrum here, one kryptonite. What is the word for the thing that drains your power the fastest?
One thing I've been working on for many, many years, and that's why this was something very deep for me with the ego, is control.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. The controlling, the intention of control or feeling in control, like that's draining for you.
I think more like controlling outcomes.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's so empowering to feel like you're in control of something. And
Mhm.
to what you were saying, if let's say something was taken out of my control, right? Because things happen,
Mhm.
it's allowing myself to be adaptable.
Yeah.
And so that was a kryptonite for me for years. And
Mhm.
that was an action step for me every single day.
Mm.
And
That's so
not
good.
be in control. Even if I know more than the next person, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm not in control. I'm just here to ask questions and be curious.
Ugh, all right. Love that. That's a good food for thought. Number 4, your soul tool. What's the one practice, meditation, journaling, movement, whatever, that you would never give up your whole life, the rest if you can?
Oh my God. Just opening the window and getting some fresh air. Start there.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Move
We're
that in.
always stuck somewhere, and I feel as if nature is always in constant flow.
Mhm.
So if you go outside, there's always that soft breeze. There's always a bird moving. There's always something that's just a gentle reminder that the world is still moving, even if I'm going through some issues.
Yeah.
And I start there. And then depending on that mood, maybe it prompts me to take a walk. Maybe it
Yeah.
prompts me to just sit outside and just like close my eyes and sit in the sun. One of my favorite actually is
Yeah.
sitting in the sun and just like letting the sun beam on you. And you're just like, oh, this feels so good. Right.
We could do
So,
that for the rest of our life. That's so wonderful. That's great.
yeah.
Ah, thank you for that. Okay. And then now your rise word, one word that sums up how you want women to feel after hearing a little more about your story today.
Okay, I wrote this down. Hold on a minute.
Oh, good.
So, rise words, I'm going to add an S to that.
Okay.
Live your truth.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to live your truth. And you will find it. Some people say, I don't know what my truth is. Everybody knows. You're just probably not ready to receive the information until
Mm.
you stay humble. Keep humble, live your truth. So if you like mochis instead of, regular ice cream, go for that mochi, baby.
Don't question it.
Don't question it. Just go get it. It might be $13, but you know what? It's the best mochi you'll ever.
Good moderation maker.
Yes. So
Oh,
just
so
also
live your
find
truth.
humor. Yeah, live your
Yeah.
truth and just find joy. Oh my God,
Yeah.
just find joy in everything.
Hmm.
Find joy and make it if you don't see it. Like sometimes I'm outside and I see the squirrels and they're running around, so I'll animate them. Like, just because it's funny. I'm like, "Wait, I'm going a little crazy here."
Oh my gosh. So you put like voices for them in your head
Oh
of
my
what
God,
they're
it's
saying
the
to each other?
funniest thing. Yeah, and it's I sit here and I'm like, "You know what? I thank God for squirrels. They're the funniest." Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's so true, especially out now and putting your pumpkins out. I actually get pumpkins to try to bring squirrels around to see them be ridiculous and watch my cat go crazy. Like, this
I
is the fun
exactly.
setup. Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for that closing word. And before we go, we usually will pull a card. Let's do the card first, and then you can share about like where we can find you and stuff. Is that okay? We're gonna
Yes,
the
yes,
goddess deck
absolutely.
out today. This is just a very basic goddess
Oh,
tarot
she's not
deck.
basic. I have that same deck.
You do? Oh my
Oh,
god.
absolutely. I
It's
speak
beautiful.
with
I
my
love
ancestors with that one all the time. Mhm.
really?
Oh, yeah.
We gotta talk more. I gotta learn
Oh,
more.
yeah,
I
we
get
do.
comfortable
Girl,
here in Wellness
I
Place.
just I a tarot deck my daughter got was handed to me because they weren't resonating with her, and they've been coming to mind as like, "Oh, I think it's time for them." I've had them, I wanna say maybe like a good 4 years,
Yeah.
and just recently they were like, "I think it's time for us to have a chat." I'm like, "Ooh, it's time."
Oh, hello. Okay. All right. So I am going to just begin to shuffle the deck here. When you intuitively feel the word stop, you let me know.
Okay. You can stop.
Okay. I'm gonna take it. It came up. What is this? Oh, this is beautiful. So it's the Juno, the tradition. I don't know if it's gonna flip it around here.
Mhm, the Hierophant, that's Taurus. That's me.
Is that you?
Yeah,
Oh, man. Okay, you
that's the
probably would read
Taurus
this one better
energy.
than me. Well, what do you
Yeah,
know about this card? You go ahead first.
it's very traditional. It's a very institutional card, so family traditions, just following like how I'd mentioned before, like the yoga that I teach is one of the oldest forms of yoga, hatha yoga.
Mhm.
Um, Where I'm going at the Himalayan Institute was founded by, I believe it was Swami Rami. Yeah, through the story. I don't remember the full story, so bear with me. I'm just going to probably ad lib at this point, but
Okay.
essentially they had, and it may not be the right term for them, but they were either seers or something to that effect where they came out to the different sites and they found one in particular where the Himalayan Institute now sits in Pennsylvania
Oh,
and they did some prophetic thing there, and they said, "Yes, this is where you're going to sit," despite it being a very challenging state because it's a very, challenging states for people that are of color. But
okay.
they have been, thank God, they've been growing, and they have places all over the world. Yeah, so
Well,
that's kind of like the energy that I get is just feeling grounded, feeling rooted in my traditions and,
yeah, yeah.
allowing myself to just keep, those points.
Let them hold you. Let them
Yeah.
carry you. I'll read it.
Yes.
It was brief on here. It just says, Judo was honored as the patroness of marriage and other traditional rites of passage in women's lives.
Mhm.
This Roman goddess was believed to watch and protect all women from their first breath to their last. It
Nice.
says the meaning of this card is following established social structures and traditions and loving relationships, the desire for marriage, perhaps, a declaration of intentions for the sake of security. Wow, that there is like beauty in those kind of traditions and rites. That's why I think we all seek it in some ways, either if it's a
Yes.
organized religion
Mhm.
or something. There is something in there. It's like a remembrance of ourselves and
Yes, absolutely.
so cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marilyn. Please share with us how we can find you and your retreat. I'll definitely put the links in the chat, but share more that you have.
Sure. So my website is evolvewellnj.com. And I can also you can connect to me at Instagram at evolvewellnj. I'm also on Facebook. I'm getting back into Facebook more so, but you could find that handle as well as evolvewellnj.
Mhm.
And my email address, if people want to, chat and say hello, mburgos at
Nice.
evolvewellnj.com.
Perfect.
And the Himalayan Institute, the upcoming retreat, October
Mhm.
24th through the 26th. You can get more information on my website. You can
Mhm.
also get information on the Himalayan Institute's website as well.
Okay.
And if anybody's interested and they want to reach out to learn more, and I am giving a 25, is it 25? I think close to 30% discount
Oh, wow.
on
Okay.
on
So
the
early
retreat.
birds, come on
Hmm.
in. And the finish sign. I mean, I know it's October, but like that's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
That'll be
Hmm.
exciting. Oh, can't wait to hear
Oh,
about
wait.
it.
And
Yes.
I am starting my first women's circle in January.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
fantastic. Okay, so you're gonna put that kind of in your socials and your website and
Yeah,
things like
as we
that,
get
or
closer, yes, yes.
okay.
So if anybody wants more information and want to be put on the waiting list, just let me know.
Yay,
Yeah, and
please.
it's going to be covering various topics, everything from marriage, sex, just careers, entrepreneurship. We're just going to dive deep as a group and just work through these things through a client centric approach,
Mhm,
through motivational interviews and takeaways so that we all have action steps as a group and see
mhm.
how that works for us and how we apply it to our day to day.
Excellent. I can't wait. Can't wait to hear about it. Well, thank you so much, Marilyn, for coming on today. I'm watching our time. I know I could talk to you all day, but I wish you all the best in everything you're doing. Definitely connect with Marilyn for more information. And otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.